And this is what I will say. I'm Tim Walberg, and this is where I stand. I stand for founding principles, belief in God, our Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, Bill of Rights. I stand for freedom. Freedom to start a business, to choose your doctor, what you drive, what you eat, to carry a gun, to teach and raise your own children, and to live your own life. I stand for personal responsibility. And let's encourage common sense, good behavior, and discourage bad behavior, such as rioting and burning down your town like we heard went on in LA last night. I stand for limited government, limited regulation, limited spending, limited taxing, and limited borrowing. And in context of what I mean by limited, at this day and age, it means cutting taxing, cutting spending. That's limited. And then I stand for life and all other American traditional values. You see, the foundational difference between Mark Schauer and me, should I be given the opportunity to be the nominee, welcome, come on in, the nominee after August 3rd for the November election, the fundamental difference between Mark Schauer and me, as evidenced by his 96% voting record with Speaker Pelosi and Barack Obama, when the rest of the Democrats on average vote 90% with Barack and Nancy. Foundational difference, the fundamental difference is that while Mark Schauer puts his trust in big government, I put my trust in the American people. Now sometimes they make the wrong decision. Last election, they made the wrong decision, at least in my perspective.
Big time. Big time.
And while I lost by 2 points, but that's still a loss. Might as well have been 20 points or 200 points. But the outcome is the same. But I believe the American people have gotten over this hopey-changey stuff. I believe they've started to look at the idea, and I think that's why I'm doing so well against my primary opponents at this point. Not resting on those laurels, I can tell you that. But at this point, I think I'm doing so well because people have said, we hear these candidates talks about needing fresh, new ideas. Well, that's what our present administration told us. Without a record. It's not working. And I think America is now saying, let's have a do-over. Let's go back to tried and true principles and proven principles. Let's start with the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, and remind us that we have rights, and they're unalienable rights. They're not given by government, but by God. The right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, or property, was what has been afforded to us and worked pretty well until we got the idea that we had more entitlements than even what the Constitution says. And so now we have deficit spending that is eating not only our livelihood alive, but my grandkids, Claire, age 2, and Micah, age 3, are having their future eaten alive and their income eaten up right now and spent before they even applied for a job. And we see our freedoms being eroded every day, with more spotlight put on conservative, patriotic Americans who just want to be left alone, who just want to be responsible, held accountable for being responsible, who want the risks that allows us to succeed, yes, but the risk that allows us to fail as well. Because without that opportunity is also, we truly don't have freedom. That's what I stand for. That's how I voted in 16 years in the State House, separated by 8 years out in the private sector, breathing free air, paying taxes, and living under the laws that I passed. And I never voted for a tax increase. You need to know that. And will not. I've signed a pledge to that point. And then 2 years in Congress. Well, how's it going? I mentioned that we're leading our primary opposition right now strongly. I think the last night's debate helped to solidify that, at least with the almost 300 people that were there. Amazing to see that group of people show up. I said to my wife, in fact I said to organizers, I longed for that in the last election, when the apathy was out there. John McCain had announced he was leaving the state, not going to campaign, and we heard the hissing sound go out of the base of Republicans in this district. And I said, wait a second, I'm still on the ballot. But it left, and I went from 12 points up 1 week before McCain left to 2 points, 2 points up 2 weeks after McCain left the state, and the rest is history.